Hello, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Are you thinking about retiring? If so, congratulations. Retirement is an exciting time, but we have to make sure that we plan for it properly. In today's webinar, we'll take a look at the things we should be thinking about in order to set ourselves up for retirement success. Let's get started. The first question that we'll need to consider is this: how much is enough? There are quite a few different savings recommendations out there, and it can be confusing at times. One way that we can think about our savings is in terms of a replacement ratio. In other words, how much of our current salary will we need to maintain our standard of living in retirement? Financial experts suggest that we should aim for an 80% income replacement ratio. For example, if you're making $50,000 a year when you retire, aim to bring in $40,000 in income in retirement. But 80% income replacement is just our starting point. Some people will need more, while others might need less. How much you will need will depend on your individual situation and expenses. So take a few minutes and think, what sort of expenses do you have? On this chart, we're looking at the average annual expenditures for Americans aged 65 and older. This information comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics 2011 Consumer Expenditure Survey. The total average expenditure comes in at just under $40,000 per year, with the biggest expenses being housing, transportation, and food. It may be helpful for you to pause this webinar and make a list of your annual expenses. It doesn't have to be a fancy spreadsheet. Just a general idea will go a long way toward helping you figure out where you stand. At this point, we have a sense of how much money we need. Next, we'll need to figure out where we'll get that money from. You may have your 401k plan or a pension with Pentegra, but think about your other income sources as well. Do you have any old retirement plans? Now is a good time to consider a rollover to consolidate your accounts, if you haven't already. Do you plan to work part-time in retirement to supplement your income? Also, have you gotten any information on your Social Security benefits yet? If you haven't done so already, go to Social Security's website and set up an account. They can be found online at www.ssa.gov. You can get estimates of your Social Security benefits and apply for benefits right online. What other things should we consider when we're planning for retirement? Well, timing is everything. First things first, find out your normal retirement age. In most private pension plans, normal retirement age is 65. Social Security works a little bit differently. Your normal retirement age there is a function of your date of birth and can be anywhere from ages 65 to 67. This is important to keep in mind because with things like pensions and Social Security, your age at the time that you begin receiving benefits can have an impact on the amount that you get. Generally, if you take your benefits early, your monthly payment may be reduced. If you take your benefit after normal retirement age, it may be increased to reflect the delayed payment. 401k and other account balance plans work a little bit differently when it comes to timing. There isn't usually a reduction to benefits if you receive them early, but there is a very important number to keep in mind: 59.5. In many cases, if you begin receiving your benefits prior to reaching age 59.5, a 10% early withdrawal penalty applies. Once you reach age 59.5, this penalty goes away. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule, and you'll be provided with something called a special tax notice that explains these rules. Be sure to review this notice in detail prior to requesting a distribution from your 401k, 403b, or profit-sharing plan. But it's not just about pure math. There are also some less tangible considerations to retirement timing. These include things like life expectancy. How long do you realistically expect to be receiving this money? According to the Social Security Administration, a person who is age 65 today can expect to live until age 84 for males and age 86 for females. So if longevity runs in your family, you may need to plan for more time in retirement. About 1 in 4 of today's 65-year-olds will live to be age 90, and about 1 in 10 will live past age 95. To give a personal anecdote, when my grandmother retired in 1992, the life expectancy table used for her minimum distributions assumed that she would live to be 83. So that's what she planned for. And how is she today in 2016? Well, she'll be turning 90 in December. Moral of the story is better to plan for a few extra years than not enough. Now we need to consider this. How are we going to get the money out of our retirement plans? Depending on the source of the income, there may be different ways of receiving it. Some different options that you might see in your account balance plans, like 401ks and profit-sharing plans, include things like full and partial lump sums, as well as installment payments. Depending on the plan, there may be other options as well, so be sure to research your choices before making a decision. Pension plans and Social Security payments are typically paid out as annuities. These are monthly payments that are made for the duration of our lifetimes. The beauty of annuities is that we can't outlive them. The downside of annuities is that our payment amount is fixed, so it's difficult to get extra money out if we need it. When we put these pieces together, we'll see that there are lots of different ways we can configure our income streams. Maybe you'll live off of Social Security now and use your 401k for emergencies and extras. Or let's reverse it. Maybe you'll delay taking Social Security so that your monthly benefit will grow and use your 401k to live on in the meantime. Because there are so many different options, this is why it's so important to go through the beginning steps of determining your income needs and expenses. Something else that we'll want to think about in retirement are our investments. You're not the same person that you were 20 or 30 years ago, and you should make sure that your investments also change as you change. You can use this chart as a guide to determine if your investments are right for you. You can find your risk tolerance along the top, your time horizon until retirement along the left, and the corresponding box will provide you with a sample model portfolio. When it comes to your Pentegra account balance plans, you can change your investments right online through the website. If you're not sure how to log on to the website, feel free to give us a call and we can walk you through the process. Our call center can be reached at 866-633-4015, and we're happy to help. Speaking of the website, there is just a tremendous amount of information and resources available through Pentegra.com. Looking for more information about the topics we discussed today? If so, check out Pentegra's Smart Path for Distributions, which is available on the main page of Pentegra's website, but I'll link to it in the footnotes below for easy access. Another tool does exactly what we talked about today. It's called either Guidance or Advice Plus, depending on your specific plan, and these are also available on your personal Pentegra website. Guidance and Advice Plus are virtual investment advisors that can help you figure out whether or not you're on track to retire. I put a screenshot on this slide and you'll notice something called the Strategy Builder near the top of the page. Click on Develop a More Personalized Strategy to access the virtual advisor. It'll take into consideration all of your income sources and financial needs. You set your own assumptions, and it'll help you to see how close you are to meeting your goals. Guidance and Advice Plus are completely free to use. All of the information is personal to you, and they're available under the Retirement Planning section of your personal website. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, but remember, we're here to help. If you didn't get our phone number earlier, jot it down now. Our call center number is 866-633-4015. We can help you learn about your distribution options, help you log on to your account, and point you in the right direction for the tools, forms, and calculators so that you can set yourself up for success. Best of luck in your retirement, and have a great day.